Hey, my SCE peeps, it is time to read our third book of the quarter. We've already read Those Shoes and Farmer Will Allen and the Growing Table last semester, and we learned so much from the characters in those stories. Well, it's time for a new book, and it happens to be a favorite of mine. Yes, you may know the nursery rhyme of Humpty Dumpty, how he fell off that wall and the king's horses and king's men couldn't put him back together again. Well, this book gives us a little bit more of what happened after that. The book is After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. And it was written by Caldecott Medal winner Dan Sentat. So, when we read this book today, here's what I really want you to think is, when Humpty fell, I want you to think, what did he do after that? Because we all know that we might be scared of things, and in Humpty's case, it might be heights. But what can we do when we're scared of things? What can we do whenever we're maybe afraid of making a mistake or something happening again that has already happened to us? So let's take a listen as we read our third book of the quarter, After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. You're going to have to pay some close attention to the pictures. The author was also the illustrator, and so he uses the words to tell the story, but there are some certain things that he doesn't use in his writing. You have to look at the pictures for the rest of the story. So here's our title again on the title page. And let's begin. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know, it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day, I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it, because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches, but day after day I kept trying and trying until I got it just right. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. How do you think he's feeling right here? I mean, he's already fallen off of it. Now his plane is up there over the wall or sitting on top of it. Oh, it looks like it's stuck right there. Man, must be a hard decision here to make. He knows he could fall again, but just the thought of that is keeping him back from doing what he actually loves. Let's keep reading to see what happens. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt.
I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time, until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Hopefully, you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. And learned how to fly.
Wow, what an incredible ending. Humpty must have been pretty happy there. Wondering if he's truly happy because he learned how to fly, or if we back up 2 pages. Let's check him out here. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. Look at the smile on his face there. That just shows me that we're going to come across things that seem hard in our lives. Okay, in school, we think if we mess up, oh, we're doing it wrong. No, if we mess up, that means that we're trying, and it means that we're learning. And that's the whole point of coming to school. That's the whole point of growing up, is learning and trying and messing up. And if we think like Humpty Dumpty, we're not going to let that fear of making a mistake keep us from being happy. We're all going to mess up, and that's okay. What we have to do is to learn from that mistake and try again. So I hope that you, my friends, are more like Humpty Dumpty this semester, and that you enjoyed our third book of the quarter, After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again.